Let's make a plant-based Depression-era peanut butter bread. Welcome back to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, where we make plant-based cooking easy. I'm Jill, and today we're going to make a Depression-era peanut butter bread. Really interesting recipe. I kind of stumbled over this one watching Dylan Hollis on YouTube. He does these really interesting recipes that are from old cookbooks, and I saw it and I was just kind of fascinated by it. So I thought, you know what, let's give that one a try. So I've created to me a healthier version of that recipe. And it's a really interesting recipe, how it came about. You know, obviously it was through the Depression era, which was in the 1930s, where, you know, eggs and butter were scarce, which is what you would put in this bread. And it's a quick bread, so it doesn't need rising time. So this was a good staple food for people that gave you protein, and it was really filling, and it is delicious. So we're gonna try it. And our pantry ingredients today are from our partner company, Essential Organics, who carry over 600 organic products. If you want to check them out, you can use the code PLANTBASEDEASY at checkout. So we're going to start with our dry ingredients, and instead of white flour, we're going to use oats. And we're just going to quickly grind them into a flour, just kind of a rough flour. Yeah, it literally takes about 10 seconds to grind this. And I always have oats on hand, so it's really easy to just make oat flour instead of buying it already processed. Right, into the bowl. And then what you want to do first, this isn't going to go in the mixture first, but you want to mix it up. This is going to be a flax egg. So there's 2 tablespoons of flax meal and 6 tablespoons of water. So we're just going to dump that into the water and stir it up a little bit. And then we're just gonna let it sit for a few minutes while we're mixing this together. And then once we get our wet ingredients, we'll add it at that point. All right, so we're just gonna set that aside and let that gel up. Then I have 1 teaspoon of vanilla powder. If you don't have vanilla powder, you could also just use vanilla extract, but I would add it in with the wet ingredients. Then we have 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And we're just gonna whisk that up. I like using the whisk just to make sure that we get out any of the clumps. Sometimes the baking soda or baking powder can have a clump in it, and you really don't wanna get a bite of a clump of baking soda or baking powder, so I just like to whisk it. All right, now I'm gonna grab my wet ingredients. While we're waiting for that, I'd like to share some background on our show. The Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show is crowd-funded, which means these free weekly recipe videos, along with our entire catalog of free printable recipes on our website, plantbasedcookingshow.com, and our Plant-Based Cooking Made Easy cookbook series, are all made possible in part by the generous patronage of our supporting membership community. So if you love our recipes, I invite you to join us on our mission to make plant-based cooking easy, and follow the link in the description to become a supporting member today. There's no denying the plant-based diet is a nutrient powerhouse, but did you know there are a handful of hard-to-get nutrients even well-crafted diets are often lacking? The latest research suggests that complementing your diet with a few specific vitamins, minerals, and omega-3s will help boost your energy and keep you thriving for the long term. That's why my daily health routine includes Complement Essential. Complement Essential contains the 8 critical nutrients lacking from most plant-based diets in dosages optimized specifically for us. As a special discount for our viewers, just use code PLANTBASEDEASY at checkout to save 15% off of your order. Okay, for our wet ingredients. So you're gonna put your flax egg in. And then I've got 3/4 of a cup of peanut butter. And this is an unsweetened peanut butter. You know, it's all it is roasted peanuts and a little bit of salt. And the salt's good in here. It really helps the baking agents. But you can use whatever peanut butter you have on hand. Okay, and for this mixture, I've got 3/4 of a cup of pitted dates. These are Deglette dates, but if you have Medjool, that's fine too. And I'm just gonna use about half of my soy milk. This is 1.5 cups of unsweetened soy milk, but also you can use whatever plant-based milk you like. But I'm only gonna use about half because it works a little bit better to blend the dates. If you put all of the liquid in there, it kind of struggles to get it all ground up. And we're going to blend this until the dates are completely pulverized. And if you're new to the channel, I always use dates in all of my baked goods as the sweetener replacement instead of refined sugar, because dates have that fiber still intact, so it's a really good healthy sugar alternative. All right, so pour that into your bowl along with the rest of your soy milk. And then you're going to just stir that up really well. And you need to preheat your oven up to 350 degrees. And you will need some kind of bread loaf pan. I've got a silicone bread loaf pan, which I really enjoy to use because I don't have to line it or oil it at all. But if you're using a regular tin or a glass bread pan, you'll either want to put a piece of parchment paper in it or just lightly oil it. Okay, into our bread loaf pan. And then you'll just smooth the top a bit. And then we're going to put it in the oven for 50 minutes, but I'm going to set my timer to 45 minutes and we'll check it at that point. Okay guys, it is done and out of the oven. It smells amazing in here. Come on for a closer look. It looks beautiful. So now all that we have to do is let it cool for a few minutes and then I'll meet you at the table for a taste. Okay guys, let's dig in. Let me cut off a slice here. Oh, I love the end piece. It's always my favorite. It is still a little bit warm, which is great. And I just love it. I love it with a little bit of jam because I think it's kind of funny. This is peanut butter bread, so I'm going to put a little jelly on it for like peanut butter and jelly. This is just a plain blueberry fruit spread with no sugar, just sweetened with fruit juice. Here we go. Man, I love peanut butter. This is so good. You are gonna love it. Come on back next week for another great recipe.